All right, well, welcome. This is the pt1 speaker series. This is Lisa Matejka. Am I saying it
Yeah,
right?
you are.
Okay, this is Lisa Matejka, and she works at Metcalf with all of their technology. And she's here to talk about appropriate attribution and kind of Creative Commons and what it is we need to do to make sure that we are using things ethically online. So,
Thank you very much. Thanks, gang, for being here. I appreciate it. So, great introduction, by the way. Share and share alike. So we all learned to share a long, long time ago. And hopefully, some of us might still be working on that. But we learned to share and learned that some things are mine and some things are yours, and some things we can pass back and forth between us. But usually, you don't take someone else's stuff and then make changes to it and run off with it. But that is how our classrooms work now. And that is one reason why we really need to start talking about proper attribution in this world where we start mashing things up, remixing things, and making things our own online. So, exciting thing though just happened to be that this month is National Online Safety Month, Internet Safety Month, and then also this week is Digital Citizenship Week specifically. And so as a tech teacher, that is a special week for me and for my students to be able to really concentrate on how to be good tech citizens. It is also International Open Access Week, so it just happens to be a really good week to talk about Creative Commons and about sharing information online, sharing ideas online. All right, so you did not know when you came that this is going to be a presentation that's mostly done by you. Exciting. Great face. So tell me this, why is it important to give proper attribution to materials that we find online or materials that we use or create?
well, I would say if we're using things and it appears that we made them and we didn't, then that crosses over into kind of the plagiarism domain.
Absolutely. If we're using it and we might not say it's ours, we might not put our name on it, but if we don't say whose it was, then that is crossing over into that plagiarism realm. Why is that a big deal though?
Because that's unethical and
Okay,
illegal.
ethics. Yes, it's unethical, it's illegal. Why does it matter if we teach our kids what's unethical and illegal? Isn't it just a picture?
I would argue that it doesn't advance us as humans. I mean, continuing to repeat the same regurgitated information doesn't make us any better. It simply accomplishes a task.
Okay.
Their individual creativity.
All right, great. So what I think is interesting about
You're
the
really
way
good presenters.
you are. Why don't you stand up here? What I think though, Wes, can you say that again, please?
What did I say?
So you said that it doesn't move us forward.
It doesn't advance human thought. I mean, it really is just regurgitation.
Okay, so when you're talking about that, you're talking about the content, which is a big deal because we always we're trying to learn more, and as the world changes, we always need to be learning more. But also there's another piece that goes underneath that, and that it doesn't advance us as a society because we are not enforcing basic common sense, basic legal sense, basic ethical sense either. When we stand in front of students, especially I teach middle schoolers, so when I stand in front of 13-year-olds and don't give proper attribution and allow them to go on and use other people's works without giving attribution and saying that it's someone else's work, then I allow them to go on thinking that that's okay. And that's not okay. So all this idea came from, for me, came from a class that I took this summer. So prior to that, I wasn't enforcing Creative Commons or any kind of really attribution. And I took a class with Dr. Robin Segman from here in the Alphabet, and highly recommend her classes, by the way, if you get the chance to take a class with her. She encouraged us to delve into this topic, and we found out really how important it is that we as teachers have a code of conduct, an ethical code of conduct that we're supposed to be following, but also legal ideas that we should be passing on to our students in our future. So, mashups, remixes. Now, I'm not going to apologize for these graphics because I did them really cheesily on purpose. But what is a mashup? Does anybody know what a mashup is? Yeah.
When you combine multiple, I guess, the sources or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. You combine multiple sources and then you make something that's really wow, right? So there's actually a few different definitions of what a mashup is, but what you just said is like the basic overall piece, that you take multiple things and you mash them together to create one item that should have a pretty big wow factor or give give a better tool than the individual tools themselves. So traditionally, a mashup would be something like Google Maps. So now not only do you have the Google Earth aspect of it, and you can like zoom into one map, but you can also get directions at the same time, and then see from there tags, places that people have tagged on there as well. So there are lots of different web tools going into that one thing. So that's one type of mashup. Does anybody have any examples of another type of mashup?
I just thought of one.
What'd you think of?
I'm trying to, I can like see it.
All
Okay.
Google products.
What's that?
All Google products, YouTube.
YouTube. Why is that a mashup?
It used to just be a place where you watch videos, now it's a place where you watch videos, make comments, create channels where you push live content on a regular basis. You can watch live programming, post-recorded programming, capture your own video and post all in the same
Yes.
locale.
And even edit now too.
Mhm.
You can even edit your videos on YouTube. So Google owns YouTube, and Google took YouTube just instead of just a posting place and turned it into a social network and a video editor and all these other pieces too. So that is a mashup tool as well. Are our students going to be able to create mashup tools quickly in our class? That, by that definition, by what we were just talking about. Are they going to be able to create a YouTube with all those dynamic things? Probably not, maybe. We could have a few, I'm not going to limit that. But the other side of mashups is taking a bunch of information, a bunch of different things, some videos, some pictures, information, and smashing that together to create one piece of understanding, one artifact of understanding. So there are more than one idea in terms of mashups there. But videos, putting those together, overlapping them, overlaying them, that's another example too. How about remixes? Oh, here's my cheesy remix. Take something, remix it. And it's really cool. Any examples of remixes?
Dance parties in college.
Okay, what's that? Why is that?
Because they would take all the decent songs and just make them more danceable
Okay, and how did they do that?
by putting a lot of bass in there.
All right, so they
Changing
took
the rhythm.
something that was already there and they changed it a little bit, but not completely, right? Because you still recognize what that song was. Yeah, so they keep some common themes there, but they change some underlying tones. Now, the whole reason why I made these really cheesy graphics is because traditionally, when we use technology in education, this is what we get. We do a really fun presentation that's fun to us with colors and things that move and pop up, and this is not what's fun and exciting for our students anymore. Our students want to get in and they want to create their own. They don't want to see something that a teacher just whipped up and used some really cute little things. They want to go and find information and put it together and make their own sense out of it. And that is where the mashups and the remixes and Web 2.0 really comes in, is them creating their own understanding using online tools. So are you okay with this cheesy graphic now that you understand why I did that? Okay. So to be able to really understand the idea here with proper attribution, we need to look at a few things, and one of those is copyright, which has been around a long, long time. And another is Creative Commons, which has not been around a long, long time. And I promised you that you would be doing this, so I do have some prompts for you, and so I'd like to split you up into a couple of groups and ask one group to look at copyrighted information, one group to look at fair use, and one to look at public domain. So who's in? Yep. Well, we might have to have a group of one. Can I have you two actually group up? I'm going to have you do copyright items because there's a lot more information. I'm going to give you an iPad, and I did not check to make sure there was a QR code on here. The QR reader. Okay. So if there's a QR reader, awesome, you can grab that. And if not, then I will get you to the site really quickly too. Would you like to join us too? Sure. Come on in. I'll have you work here. So you two can work on.
I appreciate your help.
You know what? You can choose public domain or fair use. Which would you rather?
Fair use.
All right, you are public domain. Okay, then let me do this. Instead of, so if there's no QR reader on there, then here's what I'd like you to do. Go ahead and open a web browser. You can use your computer instead if you want to. Perfect. Sorry, I have to pick that one off. So yeah, web browser. Let me
That's
just.
okay, I can't see it well enough to read it anyway, so you can add that in whatever else.
Okay. And if you, well, you can't really see it on here. If you go to tinyurl, tinyurl.com /T21. Here, you know what? Let me just go to the end of this. Here, tinyurl.com /T21-CC. And student should be able to. Let's see, this might turn into a really quick Google lesson too, if not.
Go quicker.
You should see this site right here that says Teaching About Creative Commons. I do not have the presentation linked, so I'm going to do that right now. So if anybody wants to learn about how to work in Google Sites, then I will do that right now. If I am logged in, which I am. All right, maybe. Okay. Back in here. Go to my sites. So one thing, last year I talked about using technologies in the classroom, and the one thing that I said is most important is to always stay calm when things don't work the way they're supposed to, and try and model good habits for your students after that. So you are my students today, and I did not have that linked up like I thought I did, and this is not working quite like I thought. So I am going to go to this website, my website, and be able to edit from there since I couldn't edit on the other. And you'll see how to do this. So Teaching About Creative Commons. I'm going to give you a copy, or I'm going to link this right here. Sharing this presentation. And I'm changing it to anyone with the link that can view. And saving that. And then I'm going to copy this link right here. And I'm going to paste it onto the website for you. And then you'll be able to refresh and get to that. Okay, so if you now refresh on that Teaching About Creative Commons site, you should be able to see it. I've done this a lot. Sorry, it's really fast, but I do this a lot every day. Every day I post things for my students. So now you should be able to go to that presentation, and you should be able to click on those QR codes that should be linked properly. And I say should be because they should be. But that's yours wins. Did you get there? Yep. Great job. Great job. So you'll go to that presentation. You'll be able to see that presentation, and I linked those to
They can do with these candidates is
some information.
Remember when that used to take like 15 minutes in front page reads?
Yes, I
Just
do.
updates the page like that.
Isn't that amazing?
I do indeed.
So now we're using it, okay? So there's this QR code. Should. Maggie, did that work okay for you?
Yes, when I
Yeah,
clicked the
we're
camera,
fine.
what happened when I
So
clicked
you
it,
said
it dropped the link on and then I clicked it.
Thank you. You're very welcome. So for Bruce as well, this can get pretty large also. But you're paired up, so you can work together and
Absolutely.
be able to listen in here as well.
Right.
So, that's the question. What is the purpose of copyrighted information? What is protected by copyright, what is not protected? What must be done
So
to
the
get a copyright?
copyright, the two of you kind of just talk about it.
The
The
copyright.
headings on here kind of match up with the questions
Yes.
too, so that will help.
Tough question,
Yeah, it
but
sure is.
the website that she sent us to pretty much answers these questions.
Yeah, kind of the headings really match nicely to the questions,
So,
don't they?
Right.
Wow.
Here's some examples, we can talk about these.
So, it says a copyright is a form of legal protection automatically.
I know, and that's why I tried to give you specific questions, so take your time with it.
But I would imagine so.
So I guess that why was it created? I think that is in the
So
first.
violating copyright
thing
is
is probably on screen here. So what is it? This is-
Let's see. Text of works protected by copyright, it has a list.
Give
Literary
copyright
works,
holders
music and lyrics, dramatic works,
Limited time periods.
pantomime,
Okay,
graphic,
so,
also public dances,
it's
photographs,
lines.
movies, video games,
Putting a limitation on
audio
these, right?
recordings.
Yes, but you're still able to use it.
How about computer
for the
software?
time. Okay.
Software is not on the list, so that is
That is weird.
That
yeah.
is copyright protected, correct?
It's copyright
So-
holders.
I would imagine.
Exclusive rights for limited time
I don't
periods.
Otherwise,
Limited
Microsoft
to
wouldn't get so
certain
annoying
time
when
periods.
people want.
Right. Yes, I'm sure
I'm
that.
pretty sure it is, yeah.
they don't have complete control.
Because on the flip side, it has a heading that says what is not copyright protected. It says unfixed works that have not been
MGSS right there.
tangible fixed form. So it says
It is-
for example,
it's also,
you made up in the shower.
And
got
STEM
Or
and
maybe
STEAM.
a folktale that's passed down from generation to
Yes,
generation.
I think that'd be a great example.
Right.
It says works in the public domain, titles, names, short phrases and slogans, familiar symbols and designs and numbers.
Okay, gang, I'm gonna say time out for just a minute. I just did something, I just made a change. I just changed the share privileges on this presentation so that you can edit it as well. I made a copy for myself first, but I changed the privileges so that you can edit it. On the page right after those QR codes, there are some boxes that go with each of your topics. So copyrighted items, fair use items, and public domain items. Can you go into that and edit this and add just a couple of bullet points underneath those topics to tell me about the area that you're looking at? So you can have your own visual aid when you're telling your peers.
We have to figure out how to.
Yes, you have to make it really short, don't you? You have to
Yeah.
think about it and really digest it and then be able to put it up in a bullet or two.
There we are, apparently
Isn't that pretty amazing? Have you worked much with Google Tools?
I usually only really do Google Docs.
Yeah. Which
Reloaded.
ends up being pretty powerful when you're working with others when you're collaborating. How are you doing?
Good, I'm doing one of the-
You are. You might have to refresh it. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
Allows people to edit in there.
Okay.
Copyrighted
Um,
material.
Do you have Google Drive on this iPad?
Time period.
Well, you know what, it probably won't work because you're.
I just grab my laptop.
Okay, or do you want one of these laptops right here? Which is easier for you? Okay.
Okay, so sounds good. I'm grabbing my laptop first. Sure.
Let's go over.
Oh, just fine, she's helping a lot.
Awesome.
And I might point out that whenever you have to get real work done, you
it's
use
a matter
a
of
real
editing.
computer.
Yes,
Right.
yes, absolutely. As long as the iPad doesn't have those QR readers, so you do have to be able to.
Sure.
And then it just, as you were all going, I thought, gosh, it would be great if you had a place to write this down. Why not just have it write it here?
I think you're amazing thinking of how to combine these things like this. It just, my mind doesn't work as quick as yours like that. You know, so good for you.
It's only for practice and for my students doing it. You know, watching my students really opens my eyes to what we could be doing. Because they'll
That's
say,
amazing.
why aren't we just doing this?
Yeah.
Okay,
We are.
we are now. Good
Incredible.
idea.
And as Wes pointed out, if we were to do this in front page or Expression Web, it would take 15 minutes.
Well, it would take 5 minutes just like a Dreamweaver.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just start
Exactly.
that. So it is a pretty amazing tool that we're given here.
I should say so.
Tiny URL, what was it?
T21-CC Creative Commons.
Okay, thank you.
I want to get rid of the formatting. Like I copy and paste it, how do you?
Paste to
Place somewhere.
Oh, it is, I think it's under
Format.
Yeah, there you go. Nice team.
The purpose of
I'm John.
copyright.
Nice to meet
I'm
you.
actually an education major this year.
Which is cool, which is even better, so you don't have to be, what is your major?
Creatives and their creations.
What's that?
It's my own major. I'm an organizational leadership
Protect the
communication.
creators and their.
Oh, so this totally fits with you, those
And their
notes.
creations.
I mean, because this is
And maybe we can list a couple of things
but
that,
then the organizational leadership piece too.
such like, you know, IE.
Well, yeah, I saw the topic and I was thinking, well, might as well
Movies,
stick around. I'm
songs,
sure this
books.
will be helpful in
Yeah,
some
great.
sense for me.
Absolutely.
And
if
why
it's
not
then let me
software?
know and we'll make it
Yeah.
helpful for you. Because
Yeah,
it's applicable to
it's
every
just-
field. This is just specifically for aiming at education now. Did you get some food?
Yes, I
Thanks.
just examples of constitutes, yeah.
Well, you know what, I guess I could look up there, so if I just put the screen.
Oh, yes.
And yours is fair use? This fair use, you're only doing, okay.
Not.
So gang, about 2 more minutes. Just try and really condense those ideas down into just a few words.
Things sort of like in the common vocabulary, certain phrases. Some folk tales, I think. Songs you make up yourself and just kind of casually. I don't know how to distinguish that from a musical composition, but
Right, okay, I have things that are not intangibly recorded, like coattails and
Yeah.
stuff like that in the
I
shower.
love that. I love that.
I like
You're
that.
starting to run out of a little.
I will
Like
adjust
this-
the song.
what you can also do is jot those things out on a piece of paper, just put a bullet point up there, and then you'll be presenting this to your peers, so you can say that then too.
Okay, use of characters of project, so it was a limited.
Okay, 30-second warning.
30 seconds.
Limited use of copyrighted material.
Okay, the next question is, what's the event agenda?
Yay, okay.
Don't you have to apply to the,
That's for sure.
I think that's
You did a great job.
oh, okay, okay.
Look at that.
Oh, I think isn't it automatically assumed
Did
to,
you know, Jonathan, you're getting the formatting queen here.
I
She
did
is
not.
I know.
she is on
isn't
it.
it automatically assumed?
Okay. Oops,
think
that
so.
one.
That's okay.
I
I trust you. And I made a copy just in case.
automatically provided.
Yeah,
I was used some lessons in formatting.
yeah.
I just learned how to remove hyperlinks just this past week.
Did you?
Yeah, it was really helpful.
It's useful, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.